We're, you know how like a company will like downsize their employees and then add computers instead to replace human beings. We're like we're like the 21st century power trio because we've laid a few people off to work to machines that now do the job.
I don't think it was terrifying. It was the first show was in Osaka.
Yeah.
Yeah, Osaka. And I'm actually we're pretty glad that it was in Japan. Felt that to be pretty fitting for us to play in Japan. The first time as a three-piece, being that sort of is our home away from home kind of. I didn't think it was terrifying. It was interesting, but it gets easier after every show. So you just had to. For something like this, I think you have to just dive in head first and just see what happens. You can rehearse forever, but there's difference between rehearsing and then playing live. So I felt that we should just immediately get it over with.
It's way less about becoming a trio, and it was really just more about a natural growth of our technique. I think.
Another power trio, Bee Gees. Bee Gees started out when I believe they're from Brisbane. They started out, it's three brothers. They kind of started out as like a garagey sort of kind of weird fake R&B band, and then then the 70s came around, and then they embraced wholeheartedly disco, and that really made them who they were. Although they did have some #1 hits long before that, in the mid-60s, I think.
I think he's the last person I think of when I think the Police.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Andy Summers, Stuart Copeland are awesome.
And plus, didn't Sting's solo career just like when the Police immediately broke up, didn't he just instantly venture off into kind of like yuppie music? It's not like Sting was cool for even a second after the Police, right?
Yeah, there was never like a solo song that was like as good as anything the Police have ever done.
Right.
I think Andy Summers is super underrated though, as a guitarist. I remember I was talking to my brother one time. I was like, Andy Summers is weak, like a long time ago, but I totally take that back. He wrote some really awesome riffs. The Voices in My Head riff. Yeah.
Telecaster.
Awesome. Yeah, Telecaster player.
What about the Jimi Hendrix Experience
Yep.
trio?
Experience, amazing. Mitch Mitchell.
You know who else is a pretty excellent trio? And we're in their hometown, in their backyard, Shellac. It's always been a really good trio.
True.
Power trio.
True. These guys are war horses.
I mean, I don't know. It was just one of the first groups that I ever saw when I was really young, and then it was definitely the first group I became like totally obsessed with. So, but I totally realized, I never for a second thought that it was cool to like them. It was not because cool people didn't really. No, exactly, yeah. It's a very, very like cult following, unfashionable, They're from Houston. They started out a very, very long time ago. They are original, true blues disciples, and they successfully merged kind of honky-tonky, kind of rednecky sort of blues stuff with rock. They started to get, of course, unlistenable around 1980, Eliminator. But the really early stuff that's the best, really.
No, I think he's implying that we are already unlistenable. I mean, it's only been a year and we're already unlistenable.
And we're already Genesis? Is that what you're trying to say?